Why does it never go for us? Why do we have to keep suffering as a fan base? Just give us something. Just a team. Turn up to Bramall Lane. Let us play well, and don't come back. Just let the game die. Just let us win a game of football, for God's sake. Oh, right. Please let me know in the comments right now what you think. Is it corruption? Is it bad defending? What is it? Just being plain unlucky? Let us know in the comments what you think, because it's bad. It's really, really bad, and I am sick of it. I am sick of it, to be completely honest. Why does this keep happening to us over and over again? Yes, you might say the players are just not good enough, but you should be able to hold out at home, playing really well and being 3-1 up. Only Sheffield United can go 4-1 up and end up drawing 3-all. Who does that? Who does that other than us? Yeah. A steward said to me at half time, are you going to be happier on the video this week, Nick? And I'm like, I'll tell you at end of game. I'm not happier. I'm not happier. But I will say one thing, that my mate, a few guys around me as well, were just saying, do you know what? If we put up a good fight, if we have a few shots on target, if we score a goal, we'll be happy. We're not away. We're just not. We're not. And the reason for that is because we've thrown it away yet again. 3-all. 3-all. What's, I think at 86th minute, 85 minutes, before we bring Trusty and Norwood on, we were 3-1 up. 3-1 up, coasting, playing really, really well, and then we go and throw it away. Anyway, let's start with the team first and foremost, the team that Chris Wilder put out, because I thought it was probably one of the better teams that he could have put out from everybody that was available. I would have probably looked to try and shoehorn James McAtee in, just because he's been so good this season. But I get why he didn't go with James McAtee and went with Ben Brereton Diaz and Ollie McBurney up front, because they were great together. They were really, really good. I think it came more into fruition in the second half. First half, Brereton Diaz were running his socks off, putting himself about. McBurney wasn't in the game as much as what he probably would have liked to have been. He certainly was in the second half and was fantastic. McBurney was really good. Ben Brereton Diaz was really good. I was saying, and it was half tongue-in-cheek, half not, McBurney's playing for another contract, which I don't know whether he is or not, but he was great today. To be fair, McBurney's not been bad at all this season. I don't remember a game when McBurney's played badly. And I've seen a few in the past. So, yeah, he was really good today. So, like I say, so was Ben Brereton Diaz. Those two look like they've been playing up front together for years. The link up and like the way that we created those goals today was really good to see. Really good. The defense probably as good as what we can put out. I've been calling for Osborne to play a left wing back for weeks now, and finally he's been playing there. Saying that, who else has been playing at left wing back? I can't even think right now. I'm sure Osborne hasn't been playing there. I'm gonna have to check. Sorry, guy. I'm just gonna have to check, because I don't want to say something completely incorrect, and people are like, "What are you talking about?" Did he play it against Bournemouth at left wing back? Of course, it's really, really slow. He did, actually. He did. But there's been lots and lots of games in the past when we just needed a left wing back that is left-footed and just gets up and down and knows what he's doing. Because there's a lot of left wing backs that's played for us this season that's just not known what they're doing. So anyway, let's crack on and talk about the game, because I think they were probably the better team overall in regards to possession, and I don't really think they created many better chances. I think we created the best chances in the game. Our XG must have been higher than theirs, because we created some really, really good chances, and obviously put them away from like under the keeper's nose. So let's have a look at the stats for a quick second. 1.66 to us, 1.54 to them. We did create a better XG, but they had 24 shots and we only had 8. They had 9 on target, we had 4. So that just shows that they created more chances, but we created a lot better chances than they did. But let's get on into the game then, guys. The first half, they had probably one decent chance. I think it was Rodrigo Muniz, who I think kind of went inside and out, and he got a toe to it, and El got a toe to it, and Gerbich just flicked it onto the post with a great hand. I'd just gone for a pie at that point, and I was just coming back up and just saw it as he tipped it onto the post. Really good save. Like to have seen him get more of a hand to it though, and push it round the post rather than a weak hand onto the post. But a weak hand's a weak. Who cares? Who cares at the end of the day, as long as it doesn't go in the back of the net. Like I said earlier on, it was nice to see that Trusty and Norwood weren't playing in this game because I think they've been weak links for the majority of the season. Our blaster midfield. I don't know what I thought about that because I've not seen our blaster too much watching the Blades. And every time I've seen him play, he looks really good on the ball, looks exciting, looks like he can turn quick, good on the half turn. He's an exciting midfielder, doesn't get flustered on the ball either. And that's exactly what he did today. I thought Arblaster was fantastic. And big shout out to him today for playing so well in that midfield. Him and Andre Brooks both coming into this side and just being absolutely fine with the Premier League level and the speed of the Premier League as well. So it makes me think next season when we're probably going to be in the Championship that they're going to have absolutely no problems with it whatsoever. You realize that I'm saying we'll probably be in the Championship, whereas before I was saying we're definitely going to be in the Championship. Like Burnley are close now. Like, yeah, they got a point today against Chelsea, which I could not see coming at all. I even put Cole Palmer as my captain. He did score 2 goals, but they've got to help him out, haven't they, really? Let's be honest. Like 2-2 against Burnley when they've had a man sent off in the first half. That is ridiculous how they can't put them away. But Burnley are putting up a fight. We're sort of putting up a fight, if you like. It just would have been nice to have got 3 points today because whatever anybody says, that is 2 points dropped today. I don't care what anyone says about, oh, well, we could have lost it. I was thinking as soon as they scored their second goal, we're going to lose this game when there were 14 minutes added on. I'm thinking we're going to lose this game. And it's just not great to feel that feeling, is it? And yes, we could have lost this game in the end. We didn't. That is good. But 1 point means absolutely nothing to us at this point. We need 3 points. Like, I'm not saying that we're going to stay up, but if we're going to have if we're going to put ourselves in a position where we're not going to be relegated with 4 or 5 games to go, we need to win these sorts of games. And when I was looking at the table, when we were 3-1 up or 4-1 up, you could say, it looked possibly doable. But now, yeah, we've got who have we got next? Liverpool next. Chelsea's our next home game. It's gone from possibly doable to absolutely no chance, and it's tough. I know we've got a game in hand, but that's Man United away, which, yeah, it's probably an easier game than it has been 10, 15 years ago. But yeah, it's certainly not a place where you expect to go and get anything out of the game. So yeah, it's really disappointing. It really is. But anyway, the first half, there was a couple that didn't quite drop for us that could have done. But overall, I think that they had most of the ball. We were looking to hit them on the break, which we did okay. Didn't really create anything that, in my opinion, like I said, they got forward a little bit, but they didn't create too much. Early on in the second half, though, a long looping ball is met by a looping, I think it was Rodrigo Muniz kind of backpedaled and somehow managed to loop the ball over 7'5" Ivo Gerbic, hits the post, lands perfectly into his hands. I'm fine with that. But what a header to get that sort of power on that, because Gerbic, it didn't look to me like he had any chance with that one. It just looped over his head, hits the post, and perfect into his hand. But then we went and scored a goal. We went 1-0 up on the 58th minute. And you know what? It came from pressing, and they looked dodgy at the back all day long, especially number 3 that Ben Brereton Diaz was getting so much luck out of. He was constantly putting pressure on number 3, and number 3 was constantly dilly-dallying on the ball. And Brereton Diaz, just like I say, got so much out of him. But it wasn't him. It was the central defender that passed a lazy ball out of defence after I think it was Harmer pressurised him. Ben Osborne comes onto it, picks the ball up. I think he plays it out wide. We looked very, very good going forward at this point. I think it was like 4-on-3 or something like that. But Ben Brereton Diaz, Ollie McBurney gets the ball on the left-hand side where Osborne plays him out. And then Ollie McBurney just waits and waits and waits and waits for the perfect time to play a beautiful outside of the foot ball across the box to Ben Brereton Diaz, who obviously fires it in the back of the net. Loads of Blackburn fans were saying, when Ben Brereton Diaz is on form, he misses nothing. And he's clearly on form. He's clearly playing out of his skin. I've not seen one game where Ben Brereton Diaz hasn't been fantastic. Like every game, he just puts it in. He does. But you've got to give so much credit for Ollie McBurney for playing this beautiful ball that Ben Brereton Diaz could not miss. What a ball from with outside the boot. Beautiful. I don't think anyone saw it, but looking at the replay, he's literally saying, Brereton Diaz is literally saying, put it there. And that's exactly where McBurney put it. And again, number three was not tracking Big Ben. And he puts the ball in the back of the net. And like I say, it looks like they've been playing for years together. And we got probably 3/4 minutes of happiness out of that goal. That sounds so deep and so depressing. But we got 3 or 4 minutes of happiness until we conceded a goal yet again. It was Palina. It was a ball that was, I don't know if this is what they've worked on Fulham, but it wasn't a very good corner, shall we say, if they've not worked on it, because it's coming front post. If he's pinpointed that onto Palina's head, fair enough. It's a brilliant header, looping header to the back stick. But it's one of those. I don't know if anyone's seen those Instagram videos where there's like 5 people that pass a ball into a hole and loads of them bounce out and you don't know which one's gone in or not. And it's like, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? I see Anel, Robinson and Holgate all sort of marking that area where Palina is. And he just runs through and nobody picks him up. Like, I still don't know. I've watched this goal 3 or 4 times. I still don't know who's supposed to be picking him up. It's one of those 3. And as a central defender, you don't want there to be, we've all sort of picking up an area. I don't think we do that. I don't think we play this zonal marking. We pick up as men, but somebody weren't picking him up. And I don't know who it was. Let us know in the comments. But it's really, really poor from the 3 centre-backs that you would think shouldn't be losing their men. Unless you've got, I don't know, a big, strong attacker, Haaland, jumping up with you and powering past you and heading it into the goal. Fair enough. You can't do much about that. But you shouldn't leave men unmarked in the box to just head it into the corner, because teams don't put players on posts anymore, which I hate. I love putting a player on the post, because if that's headed to the back post, someone's kicking that off the line. They are. So, yeah, it's frustrating, but it goes 1-1. Then literally 6 minutes later, our happiness is back. Rejuvenated, 68th minute. Ollie McBurney scores from a very, very quick move, with Ben Brereton Diaz providing the assist. Now, I missed this. I didn't miss the goal. I missed how Ben Brereton Diaz got to where he was to knock the ball across Ollie McBurney to put into an open net, or practically an open net. I think it's Harmer. I might just be making that up, but it's a lovely ball through to Ben Brereton Diaz. He must make the run. It's a great ball through. He's bearing down on goal on the left-hand side of the box, and he just, outside the boot, just lays it off to McBurney just to tap it into the back of the net. There's a few defenders around, but I think the keeper's come out and made himself big, and it's just got passed around him and into the net. McBurney wheels away, knee slide, smashes his knee into the ground. It happens. It happens to the best of them, Ollie. But no, all that matters is the ball went into the back of the net. We're 2-1 up, and we're thinking, come on, push on, get another goal. And literally 2 minutes later, we go 3-1 up. Now, even at 3-1, I'm thinking we need more goals. We just need more goals. But the fact that Ben Brereton Diaz scores another goal, and another great goal, because Harmer gets that ball on the left-hand side, curls it in. I don't know what the keeper's doing. I don't know what the defender's doing. But the only person that wants this ball is Ben Brereton Diaz, and he throws himself at it. I don't know if it comes off his head, off his chest, off his shoulder, off his knee, off his foot, off his thigh. I don't know what it comes off, but it goes in the back of the net. Then there's a massive VAR stoppage. And I'm thinking, this must have come off his hand. Like, why would they have stopped this? It didn't look like anywhere near offside. This must have come off his hand. And then it comes up after probably 2 or 3 minutes of just goal, and the referee's like, we're doing something. It still doesn't come up on the board saying VAR check. And then eventually it comes up, VAR check, possible violent conduct, red card. And I'm like, where's this even come from? I know there were a bit of a scuffle in the goal as the ball went into the back of the net. I don't know how the scuffle happened, because it didn't seem like there was anything in it. It's just Brereton Diaz wanted it more and scored the goal. Anyway, so somehow it's not given as a red card, which normally anything that goes to VAR goes against us. So it's good to see that it didn't, and we go 3-1 up. Everyone's happy. And then I'm thinking we're going to sit back. We're just going to let them come at us. And then in the 82nd minute, Ollie McBurney scores his second goal of the game. Now, I'm trying to remember yes, I've remembered. It's fine. We're good. It gets chalked off for offside on Vinny Souza. So what I think happens is Vinny Souza, when the ball gets knocked in, he's stood in an offside position. Then he comes back from offside, and then I think he tees up McBurney to score. So I think that's why it was given as offside. Loads of Blades fans saying, never been offside, never been offside. I'll have to watch it again. I'll have to see it on Match of the Day or something when they go into a bit more detail. But all I've seen is a video on Twitter. I haven't seen... They showed nothing on the Sky Sports highlights, because if this is the first video I've ever seen, I normally tell you what I normally do. So I'll watch the game, obviously in the stadium. I'll come home, I'll watch the Sky Sports highlights just to make sure I've got things right and I've not got the wrong player or giving stick to somebody that doesn't deserve it. And the thing is, with that one, I had to watch it back, and they didn't show it on Sky Sports, but they did show it on like a Twitter video. Somebody's managed to find that somewhere. So yeah, I do think it probably was offside. But it's one of those things. We were 4-1 up. I think this finishes 4-1, if that goal goes in, I think Fulham thinks we've got no chance of getting back into this game. And I think they just roll over, and I think the game ends 4-1. But the fact that they got that bit of luck and got the tails up for not conceding a fourth, it obviously gave them a little bit of a boost, and it gave us a little bit of licking his wounds a bit. So that's in the 82nd minute. 85th minute, Norwood and Trusty come on to see the game out. And I think this is the thing. I don't want to get into it too much, because I love Norwood. I absolutely have loved him playing for Sheff United, but he's just too slow. He's just too slow. And when they're chasing a game and they're going for everything, they're quick. Because if they're going for a draw or an equaliser or something like that, they're going to be up for it more than us, which they'd have to be. And Norwood's just not quick enough. He's just not strong enough or quick enough. And this is what happens for their second goal to make it 3-2. Deco Dovere literally just came on. They made 3 subs. I think it's Polina gets the best of Ollie Norwood. He lays it onto Deco Dovere, and he's striding towards goal, and we've got all our defenders in a line throwing the bodies at it. But it's just a fantastic finish. Like these are the things that happen to us when we feel like we're in a good position. Finally in a good position. We look like we could win a game of football, and then a player hits it from outside the box, flicks the post, and goes in. Like, who saves that? Like, it's right in the. It's literally so far in the corner. It's not even in the corner. It's hit the post and gone in. It's a fantastic shot. Yes, somebody should have been marking him. I think it's Osborne that comes out to Polina, if I'm right again, thinking it's Polina. And I think he leaves Deco Dovere. But then our defenders just aren't out quick enough, aren't blocking the space. And it's a great finish. And I think at this point, sorry, guys, 90th minute comes up, 14 minutes added time given. And I think it's probably the crowd, it's probably the team. Everybody's thinking, we're going to throw this away. We're not just going to draw, we're going to lose this game. 14 minutes, we can't see this out. And I think people around me were thinking, we can't see this out. 14 minutes, how are we going to manage that? And then literally 3 minutes later, they score a goal. And this is when I'm thinking, we've got no one on the pitch to create anything. We had Brereton Diaz and we had James McAtee. Brereton Diaz has run himself into the ground. So he's still running his socks off, don't get me wrong, but he is not the player that you want chasing the game, not chasing the game, but chasing the winner. When he's ran his socks off all day and he's been brilliant, he's just didn't have the energy left. And we've got McAtee, and we can't expect McAtee to do everything. So, yeah, I think just the fact, as soon as McBurney came off, I was like, we're going to concede a goal from a corner. We just are. And it was from a cross, wasn't from a corner. But yeah, 83rd minute, an unmarked Rodrigo Muniz just bicycle kicks it into the corner. And again, like the Deco Dovere goal, if he doesn't hit that as well as what he does, that doesn't go in. We don't lose. This bicycle kick, it could mess it up. It could go flying into the crowd, rose edge, miles wide, straight at the goalkeeper, but it doesn't. It ends up in the corner. But it's shocking defending from Mason Holgate. He just leaves him. He's touch tight to him, and he should be touch tight constantly. That's what an L does. Touch tight to him constantly. But he just lets him go. And I urge you to watch what Mason Holgate does when this bicycle kick is being kicked, if you like. He like jumps up like this with his back foot in the air, and it just looks so powder puff, so pansy. And it's just not good enough. 93rd minute. That Jack Robinson should be scrapping with him in the dressing room after this game, because that is just not good enough. You saw Jack Robinson absolutely pounding the ground when we conceded the second goal, because I think he knew that what was going to come. But after that, we managed to keep the ball out of our net, which is surprising, but I can't really remember them having a really good chance after that. I think there was a lot of pressure on us, but we managed to obviously keep the ball away from Gerbich's goal. There were a couple today where I was like, Gerbich kind of stopped but dropped, and I'm like, you just need to keep hold of them, mate. Like, we can't be doing with stuff like that. There's a few things that I want to say about the referee, to be perfectly honest. I thought that all of them were terrible today, all of them. And the referee, it felt like, especially in those kind of last 20 minutes, something like that, every 50-50 was given to Fulham. Like, I'm not standing here or sitting here and saying that it's corrupt and all that. I would never say that. And at the end of the day, it's Fulham we're playing. We're not playing Liverpool. We're not playing Man United. We're not playing Man City. In my opinion, this isn't corrupt. This is just, I don't know if the 14 minutes were correct. They must have been correct, because they're not going to just find 14 minutes from nowhere. I But I think it's the VAR calls. The thing is, because VAR, they can't sort it out quick enough. It means that there's 5, 6, 7 minutes added on just from one decision on them taking ages to come to a decision. So the problem is Brereton Diaz scores a goal at the back post to make it 3-1. Then they're, for some reason, looking at it for 5 minutes, I would say at least. That's 5 minutes that's added on to the end of the game where a team's going to be looking for a goal. Now, they could have probably seen that in a minute 30. If it's not clear and obvious, why are you still looking? Why are you going through it with a fine tooth comb to try and find some sort of red card or something to try and choke the goal off? So that's what's done us, really, hasn't it? All these VAR calls. There wasn't really many injuries. Sousa went down with cramp for about a minute, probably, maybe not even that, 40 seconds. There wasn't really anything else that I can think of. So it's all these VAR calls that's actually done us. I don't think they've added 14 minutes on to give Fulham more of a chance. I think it's the incompetent referees and officials and people at Stockley Park that are just not getting these decisions right quick enough. And that's what's happened. And that's the problem that we've had with obviously not keeping the ball out of the back of our own net. When we are struggling anyway to keep the ball out of our own net in the dying moments of games all the way through this season, it doesn't help when they're adding 14 minutes on because of terrible officiating. One other thing that I will say about the referee is that McAtee got brought down. I think both these things happened after the 90th minute. I'm not sure exactly when. But McAtee goes down, gets brought down. Their player takes the ball on. The whistle's been blown. The player knows that he's brought the player down. He takes a touch out of his feet, crosses the ball into the box. That is kicking the ball away, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't matter if you kick it that way, that way, that way, or that way. Whatever way you kick it is going to delay the game. How is that not a booking? Then later on, there's a free kick given against Sheffield United. Ollie Norwood gets the ball, passes it into the channel. Now, yes, Ollie Norwood has probably done that to waste time, but that's exactly the same as the other one. Ollie Norwood gets booked. The other guy doesn't, or I don't think he did anyway, from me seeing that. I'm going to have a little look just to make sure. No, he doesn't. No, he does not at all. He doesn't get a booking for that. So that is it's just terrible officiating. It is. And the lino was right down there with him. The lino should have been like, ref, you just booted that ball away there. It's just not good enough. Anyway, let's go into some of the comments. Justin Rice, infuriating that. Solid and impressed to get to 4-1 up, 3-1. While the subs deflated us and the defense goes into panic mode and should have lost in the end. 14 minutes is no excuse for that defending. Absolutely bang on, Justin. I was really worried about Adama Traore running at Trusty constantly. I actually don't think that Trusty did too bad with Adama Traore. I think that he did get the crossing for the third goal. But Adama Traore is not the player he used to be when he was at Wolves. But still, I was really worried that he was just going to run past Trusty or Trusty was going to give a penalty away. I didn't really want to give Wilder a chance, but Norwood and Trusty coming on, yeah, it wasn't the one, was it? Fuming, robbed, don't know where 14 minutes came from, and that our throw in for the for the second or third goal, Premier League corrupt. Never saw that at halftime. Unbelievable 14 minutes. I really want to give Wilder a chance. Oh, that's the same thing. We did well on the counter. It merited a win. That 3 tidy and well-worked finishes. In no way the fourth should have been ruled off. Disgraceful. It changes after that. And how quick Fulham's second comes. Exactly. It was so quick. Wilder gave it to them. Peter Lant, absolute legend of a man. This is probably the season that I struggle to find any justification in the way we've played overall. Wish I had a magic wand. In fairness, their third goal, unreal. It's a good finish. To be honest, it wasn't that far out. It was kind of penalty spot territory, maybe a little bit closer. I think that Deco Reed's goal from distance hitting the inside of the post is harder in all fairness, but they're both really, really good goals. And that's what happens where you're at the bottom and you're really struggling. We play so good, but VAR done us big time. But Fulham were the better team. Good game to bring on Liverpool. Oh my God, Jamie, you're not wrong. It'll be nice to be competitive in the Championship. Roll on next season too, right, Luke? Chelsea week tomorrow at home. I say 1-0 last minute winner. And where did that 14 minutes added on come from? While the subs cost us big time, I think that's happened a few times, to be fair. I think lack of concentration again. I'm concerned about the subs being made by Wilder. Last two games, lost 4 points. Exactly. Scott says Wilder just confirmed Baldock out for 6 weeks. Oh my God. Only 7 weeks left of the season, and Tom Davis out for 4 to 5 weeks. My God, I haven't seen any of that because obviously I've been getting ready to do this. Thanks for that, Scott. I actually mean that. I didn't mean that in a in a sarcastic way. Thanks for the information. Less thankful about Tom Davis being out and George Baldock. I saw Tom Davis walk behind, like kind of walk towards the stands with all his stuff on. So I assumed that he was injured yet again because he would be on the bench normally or even starting. Brereton Diaz's second goal came off his chili beans. His chili beans. His chili beans. His chili beans. I'm not sure what that means. That rhymed, unintentional. Is it me or Norwood become a Jonah? Whenever he comes on, we concede. It could be that. It just could be that, Paul. Lawrence Beckett, we're in control, and Wilder negative with subs. Stupid. Brooks was on the bench, wasn't he? Not sure why he's not got many minutes recently, nor was the subbed on option. Even Slimani in place of Norwood. I think it's one of them where we tend to say we should have done this, we should have done that afterwards. But I don't see the thing is Brooks is really good at holding on to the ball and not giving it away so easily, whereas Norwood's not great at that anymore. He's great with it with a swing of his boot, but he's not quick enough anymore. And yeah, Andre Brooks might have been a lot better idea. Today it was while the substitutions corrupt. Corrupt, David says. What is the new rule with the ball boys? Just a waste of time. Tell me about it. Like I literally heard about this in the ground today. I'd not really seen anything, and then got told about the ball boys aren't allowed to give the balls back to the players anymore. They have to put it on the cone, and the player has to go and pick it up off the cone. Like, what is going on? Like, I remember Warnock used to tell the ball boys not to give the balls back to the players. It's gamesmanship at the end of the day, and that's kind of what's fun about football. Sometimes it brings up all these annoyances, but that's what we love about football. A goal being given when it should have been disallowed. We want to be able to moan about it afterwards. We can't. It's VAR. It goes on forever, and then it gets disallowed, or it doesn't get disallowed, and we get 14 minutes added on. It's so frustrating. Don't worry, Nick. No VAR next season. You're not wrong, Andrew. You're not wrong, mate. How did Bassi not get a red card for choking Harmer? Exactly. Another one. He got booked for that. And I understand why Harmer got booked because he fouled his man when he was going past him. But like, he grabs him by his throat. Like, if that's in a big game, VAR are looking at that for a lot longer than what they did. And I know I've been saying that they shouldn't look at things for ages, but when it's something like violent conduct and it's so blatant as that, we saw it in the stands. We saw him grab him by the throat. How'd you get away with it? Absolutely cheated today. Nick, how did Tosin stay on the pitch beyond me? I counted 3 rugby tackles and 8 other fouls. Thank you very, very much. Yes, absolutely. Ian says we were robbed too. Sorry, guys. I've had a cold for about a week and a cough. CW had to make physical substitutions. These weren't tactical. There's a difference. The players came off, were knackered. I understand. I do understand that. I think sometimes you need to make better decisions, though, don't you? Like who you bring on rather than not wanting to take off certain players. That fitness and conditioning, then the training plans are a joke. They need sacking ASAP. Not wrong, Paul May. Aaron Long, recent trend, take McBurney off, let goals in. It keeps happening, doesn't it, Aaron? Keeps happening. Fulham had subs on the pick, on the, I don't know what it means, Jack. Norwood comes on, gets beaten immediately, then takes the lad, scoring for their second. Yeah. I think we'll leave it there, guys. I'm going to try and have a good night, in all honesty. Yes, we've picked up a point against Fulham, and loads of people said that we were going to get hammered today. So I'm glad that we didn't. I thought we were going to win this game today, and we weren't far away from it. That does not mean that I'm happy with it at all, but it's a point. I don't want it to ruin my weekend. It shouldn't ruin anyone else's weekend either, but it probably will at some point. Yes, we've all become a little bit too familiar with losing games of football. We haven't lost it, but it's just frustrating, isn't it? So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate everyone being here as always. Please leave a like before you go, and I'll see you very, very soon. Have a good evening.